like, it was just like so shocking at the beginning when you're in a coma and your eyes are open. He looks almost fine, but you could literally scream in his face and he wouldn't flinch, he wouldn't move. So I've spoken to people that have been in comas before, and they would say things like, I mean, once they came out of it and they were better years down the road, that I was always screaming at people, but nobody was ever listening to me. So whether they're like trapped in their body, it's just really bizarre. But with Josh, it was very slow and gradual, the waking up. And one of the best things was Care Meridian in Escondido. They have an amazing staff there. It's a small 10-bed facility. They did a great job with Josh.
So I keep coming back to it because I'm just in awe of your strength of coming through this. So I mean, I hate to embarrass you by throwing compliments and stuff, but it's really, you know, so many people really faced with this type of accident, this type of tragedies, you know, people, doctors, hospital, insurance, everybody pushing back, and you to have the strength to say, no, we're going to do hyperbaric. No, you know, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to swing the club and do whatever it takes to bring it.
Some people like, they can't, you know, express themselves.
They can't express themselves, right?
They can't stand up to those people, or they don't have the strength to follow their gut and tell a doctor no, or go find answers when you're not getting the answers.
Yeah.
Right.
You know? And so, do you think that's just innate in you? Do you think it was because of, you know,
well,
did something?
Yeah, I think, I always question everything anyway.
Okay.
I'm not the most accepting, and especially when it comes to medicine and that kind of thing. I just think too many people just blindly do what the doctor tells them to do. Or take, you know, this 20 milligram blood pressure pill, and then, you know, they're dizzy and they're fainting and they're still taking it every day.
Right.
Or they're on cholesterol medicine and all their bones ache, or that kind of thing. But with Josh, I did have my brother, who's very
smart,
extremely intelligent.
Yeah.
He's the one that suggested the oxygen revolution, the book, to me, and hyperbaric oxygen therapy. So, and then we spoke to Bob Sands, who is the owner of San Diego Hyperbarics.
Bob Sands did a good job.
He did a good job. Yeah. He's a great guy. He is the most optimistic person in the world. He's like, Josh, he's from Australia, this is just a bump in the road, you know. He said, this is just a bump in the road. You're going to be fine by the end of the summer, you know. He's that kind of a guy. A little bit extreme, but he's a great guy.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I did have help from, I did go to a psychologist. That helped me a lot. Because what I wanted to hear from a professional was that this isn't it, that he's going to continue to get better, that he hasn't, like in the insurance world they call it plateaued. Oh, he's plateaued, therefore, because one day you're in your therapy and they just said, you know, by the way, this is Josh's last therapy, we're not going to, and I'll be like, what? And they said, because we feel that he's plateaued. So then you got to appeal that and fight for that, and you got to fight for all of your benefits. But, and then we did a lot of things. We did acupuncture.
Yeah.
We did that right at the hospital.
Yeah.
So, looking back over the 4 years plus, now almost 5 years, is there anything that, you know, you go, wow, that, you know, where did that idea come from, or where did that,
it's
you know,
so
like, you know, that didn't, you know, that doesn't seem like I could have done that, or that seems like, wow, I wish I would have had this Is there anything where you kind of have an epiphany or looking back, an idea of what else could I have done, or any regrets, anything, positive or negative about the last 4
I
years?
don't think I,
Hindsight being 20/20. kind of
right. I don't think I have any regrets about what I did.
Maybe you would have done differently. And regrets is, it's
Right.
tough from
Or-
your perspective.
I mean, if Josh was like President Obama's child, I mean, he would have all the resources available to him 24/7, including Air Force One and everything else. I mean, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
And he would have therapies all day long. I mean, but I think you have to draw the line. You have to live your own life too. And do you want to sell the farm, and and just dedicate 24 hours a day to your child? I mean, at the beginning it was like that, but then
Right.
you come to a realization where this is a very serious brain injury, and it is going to take years. I mean,
for 2 weeks.
Josh used to perseverate on one thing, and that was, and this is kind of an interesting thing, I'm kind of going off on a tangent here, but Josh lost his dad when he was little,
10.
in 5th grade, and he was the type of kid that said, I don't want to go to a psychiatrist or a shrink or a therapist. I can handle it. I accept the fact that Dad died.
Yeah.
I'm fine. Well, I don't think he was really fine. I mean, Natalie and I went, but I couldn't force him to go. So then after the brain injury, he would say all day long, "Where's Dad? Where's Dad?" So on top of
I can't remember
the
that.
brain injury, which is awful to begin with because they throw you out of the hospital before you're ready, or you can't even walk. And how am I going to get him up the stairs? So then I had a caregiver here for the first month. So all that was tough. But now I lost my train of thought. What
We were
was the
going back to,
question?
if you had 20/20, was there something that,
Oh,
and you were saying there came a point where you had to decide,
right.
am I going to do this 24 hours a day or not?
Because you get exhausted. You're just so tired,
Right?
Huh.
And then you have to
here?
watch, you just have to watch everything you do. With a brain injury, you have to watch everything you eat, everything you do. So I think I did the best I could. Let's put it that way. I just feel I looked at places to put Josh, and I just didn't feel comfortable with any of those places. Plus, they're extraordinarily expensive.
Mm.
Learning services is $10,000 a month.
Wow.
The Howard House is $5,000 a month, and it's a
Right.
home in Escondido. And the range of injuries are just all over the board.
Right.
They're from people in wheelchairs that can't speak at all. It's just too nerve-wracking. So I decided that I would keep Josh here.
Well, you've done a great job. I mean,
Thanks.
really.
See you.
And hire
Josh
teachers.
probably done, so much work on his own, and you've done so much for him, and so many resources. I mean,
Thanks, Josh. I love you too.
Okay.
I love you when you sound asleep.
More.
Yeah.
more. Tell me
I
more.
mean,
A lot, but she doesn't want to sit in it.
what? The speech is, we're working on the speech.
I know.
But I mean, it's $100 an hour for a speech therapist. Your insurance only covers, maybe, I forgot what it is. There are X number of speech therapies and X number of physical therapy and X number. So when you have something like this, a catastrophic